Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioners Clubhouse on the LCC Network for week 8 of the off season. We are in the last week of January as we record this. By the time most of you listen to it, it'll probably be close to March.
It's actually February there, Pat, not January.
Sorry, yeah, I forget how fast this month's gone. In January we're so long. I feel like I'm still stuck in January somehow.
That's what she said.
Wait, what?
Hey, you can have somebody named January.
Still stuck in January. Wait, so that whole joke relies on the person being named January?
Yes, it's only funny for the people named January.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
What a great way to start the show, fellas.
All right. Well, yeah, obviously you guys know Isaac and Jameson are on the show with me today, like always. Jameson, take it away, man.
Yeah, so quick rundown, like always, quick announcement. So make sure everyone gets guys, I'm at a loss for words. It's really late right now.
Payments, March 1st. We need the payments, March 1st.
No, it's not March 1st, actually. You're wrong. It's actually the first Sunday of March. As I pull up my calendar right now, that's the 3rd. So,
all right, well, you got it wrong in our other Google Doc. You had it March 1st. So
it's supposed to be March 3rd. March 3rd is the deadline.
Yes, deadline, March 3rd. Get that done. So we've got a couple things. We've got Dynasty Play today. We're going to talk about keeper value for certain players. There's a lot of people asking and kind of thinking, do I keep this guy or this guy? And we're going to discuss some of those scenarios today. And then we've got our way too early top 10 IDP rankings. This is before rookies are drafted, of course, so this will probably change a lot through the off season, but we wanted to kind of throw something out there and let you know where we are with our picks. So quick question before we kind of kick off the show, guys. So I was looking through a lot of old photos at draft boards a couple weeks back when we were doing all the Hall of Fame totals and everything, and I noticed a ton of drafting mistakes that I made, and it got me thinking, who was your biggest draft bust ever during your fantasy football career?
Just Little Critters Clubhouse?
Well, yeah, well, that or anywhere else, it doesn't matter. But
see, if you're talking about any fantasy, I mean, I can go into baseball stats.
No.
Shout out to baseball. She's back. Spring training starts tomorrow for the Yankees.
Ugh, wake me up when it's when the draft's here. No, but I'll kick it off, man. The biggest draft bust for me, hands down, without a doubt, was Matthew Stafford. Oh my God, dude. I can't believe I'm saying this stupid shit. 2014, my very first pick, I get Matthew Stafford. And everything you read that offseason was Stafford was going to have his breakout year. It was going to be he was going to finish basically like a top 5 quarterback guaranteed. And no. Heck no, man. Not even close. What a waste. That's the only one that I can literally sit here and say, yeah, I totally regret doing that, and I will never have him on my team for any reason, period.
I remember that draft. That was a funny moment. Go ahead,
hey,
I'll let you go next.
Don't interrupt me. Yeah.
No, I was talking. Yeah. I swear I was talking. I think there's a delay on my new mic.
But you're in the audience. This is his first time interrupting me. See if you can count, and we'll compare answers at the end. All right, my biggest draft bust was, I've only been in this for a couple of years now, and usually I am pretty spot on with my first couple picks, and then I just go to shit after that. But I really missed on this guy. I took him way, way too high, and he only had one good season, and it is no other than Danielle Hunter. I took him the 4th round.
I forgot about that.
I went Aaron Rodgers, Landon Collins, Khalil Mack, and Daniel Hunter. I was trying to get the best in every position, and I thought I did because I didn't really know that much about Mack. He's MVP type defensive player, so it's like, oh yeah, get him on my team. But fantasy value, he was not there. But Daniel Hunter, I ended up cutting him. He sat out in the waiver wire all throughout the off season, and then I convinced Cameron to pick him up this past off season, and he did great for him this last year. So, yeah, he was my bust.
That's what always happens. You convince someone else to take him, and then they do great.
I'm about to say you can't talk because you told your brother to get Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I passed on him in favor of Andrew Luck, which was okay. But I told my division rival to pick him up. That was smart.
Good thing he didn't beat you.
Yeah, my biggest bust ever. So mine was Kobe Fleener. I think I got him in like the 5th round a few years ago.
A few weeks ago, I was going to say, damn, we starting another one?
Oh yeah, I drafted him right in front of Ethan, and I already had a tight end, and Ethan got really mad because I drafted another tight end when he was going to get him, and that was the first year with the Saints, and Jimmy Graham was gone, and I was like, oh wow, Kobe Fleener's going to light it up, and I think he had like one game that he was worth starting. The rest of them he was garbage, and I had him on my roster most of the season.
Did you know he's no longer playing football?
That does not surprise me. He deserves it for losing my draft.
That was Andrew Luck's college mate back in Stanford days.
Yeah. But yes, I just thought that was funny when I was looking through it, so I wanted to bring it up. But we'll jump right into dynasty play here. So, in preparation for our keeper episode, which is coming up in a few weeks, we want to discuss kind of the long-term value of some of these players that people that are listening may have questions about. So in this segment, we're going to kind of discuss 2 or 3 players, just kind of a PvP matchup, and discuss which one's worth keeping in a dynasty format. So not necessarily just 2019, but looking 2019 and down the road as well. So we'll jump right into it here with the quarterbacks. We're gonna go by position. I've got 3 guys here. Tell me what you guys think. Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, Mitch Trubisky. Which one of these guys are you rolling with? If you had to pick one of them, which one are you rolling with over the next few years?
All right, Pat, you go first.
Oh god, this is actually kind of tough for me. I'm going with Jared Goff. I like the coaching staff there.
Wait,
sorry.
What?
Sorry, no. It's supposed to be Mayfield, Wentz, or Trubisky. Sorry, I don't know what the hell I was thinking there. It's 8:39 my time. Jesus, it's super late. God, get off my back.
I say it's 11:39.
Midnight. Yeah, midnight.
No, I'm just kidding.
I take my eyelids open to do
No,
this.
it's. I'm sorry. I'm just like rambling on here. No, my guy for sure out of these 3 is Carson Wentz. I really like his athletic ability to get up the field. He's no Cam Newton with speed, but I feel like this is a Panther fan saying this. I like his accuracy more than I like Cam's accuracy for sure.
That's not saying much because Cam can.
I know, but I mean, I'm not going to say Wentz is like a super accurate quarterback either, but he's definitely more accurate than Cam. I really like him. I like what Wentz can do in the field and in fantasy.
I wonder who's more accurate, long career long, Jameis or Cam Newton. I'm gonna have to look that up and let you guys know. But my pick, I would not pick Wentz. Surprisingly, as a secondary Eagles fan, Carson Wentz, he's got there's issues there with his health. If it's not one thing, it's another thing. Trubisky, I think he had one great season. I don't really trust him, so I'm going Baker Mayfield actually, because he's a better thrower than either one of these other guys are. Yeah. But he's not as good as a runner as Wentz and Trubisky is. But as far as throwing accuracy, Mayfield's the guy.
Yeah, Wentz and Trubisky have a decent floor because of their running ability. But Wentz, the thing I'm worried about him with is the injuries plus the roster over the next couple of seasons. I mean, they're like really tight up against the cap. They've been trying to sell out for the Super Bowl. I'm kind of worried that this is going to be kind of a challenge.
What is going on over there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we heard you. It sounded like you were scratching the mic.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry. No, I was like tapping on my computer. This thing's like super sensitive.
No, you're scratching your nuts. Don't lie.
That's my bad. I'm just going to go with computer because we're on the podcast.
Sounds like sandpaper over there.
I thought you were wrapping boxes. Like, man, is he moving? Like,
sorry about that. So hold on. How much did you hear? I can start over. It was only a few seconds.
No, we heard everything. Just tell us your guy.
Okay, yeah. So high floor Wentz, Trubisky. Worried about Wentz. Trubisky, I got to see it again. So I'm actually going to go Baker Mayfield. I hate that I'm saying this. But I'm going to go Baker Mayfield because I think there's going to be a lot of weapons there. I've already said I like Jarvis Landry. I think David Njoku's awesome. Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt are both, whatever that situation works out as.
You got your Chubbs.
Your Chubbs. Offensive coordinator Baker Mayfield threw for a lot of yards when he was playing last year. I think it only gets better. Fairly accurate, fairly athletic, not like the other two. But if I'm looking, 3 years down the road, I'm going to take Baker Mayfield. As much as I hate to say that. But real quick before we move on, what about the guy you picked? What about if you put him up against Jared Goff, Allen, or Lamar Jackson? Are you still picking your guy, or are you going to go with one of these other players?
And to clarify, it's Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Yeah, sorry about that.
All sorts of mistakes tonight.
Sorry. I didn't put Josh in the show doc. Here you go. So if you're would you pick your guy still, or would you pick Jared Goff or Josh Allen? We already know Patrick's answer, I guess.
I think this is going to go really one way voting, but go ahead, Pat. Give us yours.
Yeah, I'm actually going Wentz in this. I don't know why. I just read off. I don't know what I was thinking earlier, but no, I like Wentz over all three of these guys right here. Josh Allen, I do not believe in this guy whatsoever. So I take any of these quarterbacks over him. Jackson, I like his athletic ability, but there's still so much there. I feel like that needs to be developed. And when you look at Jared Goff, he's in the same boat as Wentz, other than sure he's healthy, but they're not going to be able to keep that roster intact for a long period of time. And I'm interested to see what happens once they start hitting those speed bumps. But yeah, I'm going Wentz. I really like his capabilities.
See, mine, I thought you were going to go with another way because you already said Goff, but apparently I'm wrong. I can't really pick one. I feel like either way, Goff, Mayfield. I mean, I feel as far as throwing, they're about the same. They both got a good arm, fairly accurate, same type of mobility, maybe a little bit more Goff. But like I said, give me either one of those guys. Honestly, I'll take. No, not being picky, but I do not believe in Josh Allen. I mean, he's got a cannon. But Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm still going to pick Mayfield over Goff for what Patrick mentioned, the purge of talent that we could see in the future. Although it is close because I do like Goff's coaching staff. I actually like Josh Allen, his running floor, because it's not scripted like Lamar Jackson's is. It's just off the cuff, which means that it's something that's going to be able to continue happening.
You know why that is? It's because they have no wide receivers that run routes.
Exactly.
So he's just like,
he's awful.
Shit, let me just run.
Oh yeah, he's an awful real life quarterback. For fantasy, I mean, I would definitely look at him over, Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson. I mean, I would pick him over those guys for sure. But yeah, I'm still going with Mayfield as my guy there. So, what about running backs? I love these. I love two of these guys. Phillip Lindsay, Leonard Fournette, and James Conner. So out of those three guys, who would you pick for the dynasty play?
All right, let me go first.
All right.
Pat. Even though I got this guy on my team, I'm not going to pick him. I would rather have James Conner. I liked him in college. I really hoped he would become something in the NFL. I didn't think he would, especially since he got drafted by the Steelers, because I never would have thought they would let go of Le'Veon. But as we all know, he's out. Conner's the guy. So give me James Conner.
All right. Pat?
This one's really tough for me. I feel like all three of these should go either way. Fournette, talking about injuries, my goodness, man, this guy's been plagued by him. James Conner, I like him a lot. I like his capabilities, but I just feel like this offseason Steelers are just imploding on themselves, and that's a little bit scary for Steeler fantasy owners. But Lindsey too, but I'm interested to see how this coaching changes, if their offense changes any, how he's played in the system there. I'm going to go with, despite everything going on in Pittsburgh, I'm going James Conner too here. I like his capabilities, and even when things looked rough in that Steeler offense at times in certain games, I really liked what James Conner was still able to do.
I mean, and plus they still got the offensive line, and I feel like they have one of the most underrated offensive lines in the NFL. The Steelers, I mean, pass block and run block. You can really put anybody back there, and they're gonna get you damn near 5 yards a carry. especially one thing I thought about Lindsey with Flacco being traded now to the Broncos, that just makes me not like the Broncos offense that much more. And the new coaching staff who knows how it's going to be. So I'm kind of, as a Lindsey owner, I'm kind of nervous.
I mean, I like Flacco's an upgrade on what they got, I feel like, or what they had. I mean,
I'd rather have Keenum than Flacco.
I wouldn't want either one, but I think it's an upgrade slightly.
Yeah, I don't want either one either, but I think Flacco's a little bit better. At least he's got the credibility there. I'm going with James Conner too. He did win a Super Bowl. I'm going with James Conner too. Lindsey, like Isaac mentioned, the coaching stuff, I'm just kind of iffy about it. I think Lindsey's an RB1, but I think he's a late RB1, like a 10, 11, 12. I think James Conner is a legitimate RB1, like in the top 5. We saw him usurp that Le'Veon role last year. He's a great pass catcher. If there's not a lot of weapons, if Antonio Brown's moved out, James Conner, maybe it opens up the window for even more catching. So I like James Conner a lot. I will say Leonard Fournette, there's trade rumors about Leonard Fournette being moved out of Jacksonville to a place like Philadelphia, being able to get him on his rookie contract for, the next 2 seasons, I think. So, I mean, if Leonard Fournette gets out of Jacksonville and goes to somewhere like Philadelphia, I'm going to be much more on board, with him than I am right now. But I still think I like Conner and Lindsey more.
To me, even with the injuries,
I was about to say, to me, it's not about the team. It's literally the injuries is what Fournette's dead last in this list for me.
Well, yeah, he is for me too right now. But a guy's hurt until he's not. So I mean, if he goes somewhere.
But I'm saying, like, as far as talent without injuries, I mean, Fournette's got some talent now.
Oh, he does for sure.
Yeah. I think in a where he's not, the guy. He's not the guy. Maybe he can. Or, I mean, he's that guy. Maybe he can have a guy to, a more creative offense.
Counter.
A guy who can also take some load off. He can keep the hammies healthy.
You talking about a yin to a yang?
Yeah, someone a little stronger than Yeldon and a creative play caller. I mean, you just can't run Fournette up the middle 35 times in a game and expect him to stay healthy for 16 games. I mean, that's just asinine. I don't like him more than Lindsey or Conner now, but like I said, if he gets on a team somewhere, it's worth considering. But I like Conner and Lindsey a lot more than Fournette, the way things stand. But what about your pick versus these guys? Marlon Mack, Kerryon Johnson, or Sony Michel? I mean, I assume we're all still going to go with James Conner in that situation.
Yeah, easily.
All right.
Easily.
So asking for a friend, Marlon Mack, Kerryon Johnson, and Sony Michel, which one would you keep? Just asking for a friend that I happen to know who has these 3 guys.
That happens to have these guys on his team?
He has all 3 of these guys on his team, and he's not sure what to do. I'll relay that message.
I would go Michel.
Is that like an honest opinion, or is that like you want to wreck this friend's fantasy team opinion?
If I wanted to wreck you, I would give you Marlon Mack.
You say that, but I really do like Marlon Mack. That offensive line showed that they were the real deal this past year, and same with that defense. I mean, they can just retain what they had. Marlon Mack's a solid running back.
Give me Sonny Michel. You saw what he did in the playoffs. He was dominant.
See, my friend was between Marlon Mack and Sony Michel too, so this didn't help at all. So we'll go to the next one. Wide receiver, tight end. So DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley, or George Kittle. Which one of these guys would you lean on in your dynasty league?
I was gonna say you could have threw another wide receiver in there. I just kind of feel bad for Kittle all by himself.
Another great one. Kittle did break the record for tight end yardage in a season, though.
You could have did Ertz, and Kelsey.
Oh, Kelsey, man. I mean, come on. That's not even fair. Kelsey versus these 2 guys? We all would have picked Kelsey.
Let me jump into this. There's people are going to scream bias on this, but I'm going DJ Moore, man. When that dude gets the ball, you just don't know what he's going to do. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a very, very good way. He's a very physical receiver. I love his route running ability. He's got pretty good hands too. Calvin Ridley, we kind of saw him fade away part of the season, and it wasn't pretty. Kittle, I love Kittle. Don't get me wrong. I would have to be between DJ Moore and Kittle, but I'm going to go slightly with DJ Moore because I really like his capabilities in the field.
Yeah, I love DJ Moore's.
Hey, You cut me off. I'm the one that's supposed to go next.
I started talking, but there's not an order of supposed to go next. What are you talking about?
You're the host. You're supposed to let the guests
Oh,
go
you
first.
want me to go last? Okay. All right, you can go next.
Yeah.
All right, go
All
ahead.
right. As much as this pains me to say, because two of these guys are division rival wide receivers, I would also go with DJ Moore if I had to choose between these three. He showed some flashes of talent, and as a Tampa Bay fan, it kind of makes you nervous of what his ceiling is. But I mean, then you just have to remember Cam's throwing in the ball, so then I don't have to worry as much. But yeah, give me DJ Moore.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about DJ Moore. We did a couple episodes back. I watched a highlight reel today of DJ Moore. It's like 5 minutes long, and I was getting really hyped up for him, and I really hope I can get him in the draft. Calvin Ridley is electric. I think he's fun to watch, but with Julio in the number one role, I don't think Calvin's going to have that kind of ceiling that DJ Moore has until Julio is gone or Calvin Ridley moves somewhere else.
Well, Julio's 30.
Well, yeah, but he's still going to be there for a few more seasons, though. Like,
yeah, it's just crazy to think. Like, I remember when he was at Alabama, and now this guy's 30. It's like, damn, I feel old.
it flies by. In a standard league, though, I might pick Kittle before any of these guys. Where tight ends and wide receivers are more even. In our league, I think we've all got to lean more towards more.
Yeah, because Kittle's going to get catches, yards, touchdowns. I mean, these other guys kind of boom or bust, but I feel like Moore's got the most potential of them.
Yeah, I like DJ. Yeah, his potential. All right, awesome. So, what about DJ Moore versus any of these guys? Juju, Cortland Sutton, or Hunter Henry? I think we're all gonna go with Juju long term.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm definitely jumping off the DJ Moore train, going for Juju. Like I said with the other guys, I mean, I watched him in college. I actually remember when he signed with USC at a high school, which is just crazy to think about because I remember SoCal, but it was so crazy because I was like, who the hell names their kid Juju? That's how I remembered. And I watched him all the way through on College Game Day, watching his highlights, and then he got drafted, and then you watch him succeed. It's just kind of cool from start to finish. Also, it was the same with Alshon Jeffrey. I watched him back in when he was in high school in California when we stole him from all those other schools. But anyway, yeah, give me Juju. His potential, especially with Antonio Brown potentially being out of the picture now, he's going to be the number one guy. And, I mean, he's very talented, and he's extremely young. So he's got much more room to grow.
Let me ask you this though.
He's very young.
I don't know if you guys are following the Pittsburgh Steelers now, but there's a lot going on in the front office there with Le'Veon Bell more likely being gone. You know, Antonio Brown isn't helping things out there. It seems like the coaching staff's just letting players just kind of do whatever. You got Big Ben jumping in, like coming at guys. Like, do you think that is going to affect Juju as looking at this team kind of crumble away?
No. He's young. He's there. He's just happy to be in the league, just ball out. He's not worried about friendships and everything else. I mean, they're still going to be friends with, you know. He kind of looked up to Antonio Brown, a mentor. He learned some stuff from him, but I don't think it's going to affect his game. It might affect him because he's going to be double covered more unless they can find another wide receiver to take away some of the pressure.
Here's one more concern too that I just thought about. What if if Big Ben retires after like next year, and if we're talking like down the road, like 2, 3, 4 years down the road, how do we feel if Juju retires? I mean, I guess it would depend on who comes in at quarterback. Maybe that's too far down the road to look, but I mean,
I still think Juju has the most. I feel like Juju still has the most potential of any of these guys, regardless who. It's like Jarvis Landry. You saw how successful he was in the Dolphins with every shitty quarterback that came through there, and DeAndre Hopkins, how successful he was with all the shitty quarterbacks that came through there. So you can still succeed in an offense with a shitty quarterback, and I feel like Juju would be one of those guys that could.
Cool. Also, we'll go on linebackers real quick. We've got 4 of them: Roquan Smith, Blake Martinez, Bobby Wagner, or Quan Alexander. So this is a little bit different. One super young guy, one guy's been in the league 2 or 3 years, and we've got 2 kind of middle to older guys.
We're calling just vets.
So which one of those 4 are you picking in a dynasty league?
Here, I mean, listen, I'm in our league at least, and in other league formats, I would not make this pick. But in our current format, where tackles are everything, Blake Martinez is my guy. I really like him. He provides a safe cushion. You know what you're going to get. You're not going to get a whole lot of. I mean, he's not going to get you, 50 points or 45 points in a game. It's going to be that 30, 35 week in, week out. And it's going to hover around there. It's not going to go up and down much. It's just going to kind of stay there and you get this nice baseline from him. And I like that. I love the consistency behind Blake Martinez. So I'm going there all the way. And he's young to top it off.
No, he would be the bottom choice for me of these 4 guys.
All
Bottom.
right, Isaac, who do you got?
I'm down between Roquan Smith and Quan Alexander. Bobby Wagner's old. Martinez, like you said, he's just consistent, but he's not great or he's not bad. He's just there. Roquan Smith, he's only had 1 year under his belt, and he was actually really solid in that Bears defense. But I'm probably going to say Quan. Just watching, as a Tampa Bay fan, watching him play and just how dominant he can be on and tackling the ball and in coverage. And he's only like 26, 27, around his prime. Just give me him so you can ride him through his prime. But like I said, down between him and Roquan Smith.
Yeah, I've actually got Quan here too, but it's between Quan and Blake Martinez for me. I'm going to go into Quan later, so I'm not going to jump too much into it now. But so your pick versus Darius Leonard, Tremaine Edmonds, or Leighton Vander Esch. Are you still going to go with your guy, or are you going to pick one of those guys?
Hell no, I'm jumping off the boy and getting on that Darius Leonard train, man.
Darius Leonard train. Yeah, I'm probably doing the same thing. I mean, I know it's just his first season. We just talked about Roquan Smith's first season. But Darius Leonard, man, we'll talk a little bit about him here soon with some stats and stuff. He is unreal. He is unreal. Even if he regresses, he is unreal.
Pat?
Thoughts, Pat?
No, I mean, dude, I'm a Darius Leonard owner. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, technically, you were a Martinez owner too. So.
I am.
And an Edmonds owner.
And a Tremaine Edmonds owner, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're contemplating,
and you still didn't do anything in playoffs, and you had 3 of these guys.
I mean, if you're sitting here contemplating, should we rank him higher than these guys? Then you need to get off the show for a minute. You need to collect yourself and then come back to reality, because that's kind of what you're looking at.
You know why I put him here is because a couple weeks ago you talked about regression. So I was like, all right, I'm going to make Pat talk about Darius Leonard versus these other linebackers. Because most of them are young.
Like I said in that episode, like, he's going to be a tier 1 linebacker. I am not saying he's not. What I'm getting at here is that the dude is not going to put up those numbers that he put up. So if you're thinking that he's going to be head over heels better than everyone else, then you're going to be sadly mistaken.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, DBs real quick before we move on. Jesse Bates, Derwin James, and Jamal Adams. So 3 pretty young guys. Who are you guys picking here?
All right, I'm going first.
All right,
I'm saying Derwin James. Derwin James out of these guys. Jesse Bates, he's a free safety, kind of worries me. And Jamal Adams, I'm not. I mean, he's good. I liked him in college. He was very dominant when you watched him. He made his first Pro Bowl this last year. He made a good stride, but I don't believe he's going to repeat his same status. I feel like there's going to be some drop-off, and I really like Derwin James and his potential.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you, Isaac. I mean, I'm about to talk about him here in a few minutes, but I like me some Derwin James, and he's going to be good for a while.
Yes, I mean, in his rookie season, he was amazing. I think he'll get even better. I love Jamal Adams. I like Jesse Bates, but I'm going to go with Derwin James too. So Derwin James versus these guys. Buda Baker.
Whoa! Stop the presses.
What?
He likes Derwin James more than Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
For those listening to the show, we were arguing about this before the show. He was all on to Jamal Adams' dick before the show.
We weren't arguing Derwin James and Jamal Adams. We were arguing Jamal Adams and Keanu Neal. Not Derwin James.
Yeah, I know, but you were talking about his potential.
My rankings have Derwin James higher than Jamal Adams.
I know, but I just wanted you to say it.
I
it was great for you to say
in my rankings. We were arguing Jamal Adams and
But
Keanu
you haven't
Neal.
said it yet because I didn't read it.
we were arguing those two guys though. I mean, those guys I like Derwin James more for the long run for next.
What are these other guys though?
Buda Baker, Harrison Smith, which you can just kind of throw out. Tyron Matthew, and then
You
Keanu
can throw
Neal.
him out too.
So you're gonna pick Derwin James over these guys? Or are you gonna pick any of these guys?
See, on my rankings, as like we'll get to the next segment, it was a real toss up. I have Neal higher than Derwin James. Just watching him play with the Falcons as a rival for Tampa. I mean, he was just making plays all over the field. And then if you looked at when he went down last year and KZ stepped up, he still was flourishing. It's just it seems safeties in that Falcons defense produce, and Keanu Neal has much more talent than any of those guys. So his potential and his ceiling is much higher.
Keanu Neal has more talent than Derwin James?
No, he has more talent than KZ. Like KZ was solid.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. That's not even debatable.
That's what I'm saying. KZ had like average 30 points a game, so Keanu Neal would be way above that in that same system.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I thought you were talking about Derwin James. I was gonna have to stop you there, but no, yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. but from a dynasty perspective, though, do you like James or Neal? So you like Neal more next year, but what about from like 2, 3, 4 years out?
Well, like we talked about, Neal is recovering from some injuries, so we'll see how he does next year. But long term, Neal's already. I feel like he's proven himself. I mean, I'm not trying to jump the gun too far ahead here, but Keanu Neal was the second ranked defensive player in 2017. I mean, he was a baller when he was healthy. So, yeah, man, I like Neal better.
I'm agreeing with Isaac a lot this episode. I'm finding, but I'm right there with you, man. Keanu Neal, I'm going to take him out. He's still a young guy, and despite the injury, when you're this young, granted there is a risk. There is a definite risk here with the injury he sustained, but I feel very strong in his capabilities to come back and really just be right up there at the top as a top tier one DB.
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Derwin James because I love that Chargers defense. I love what he did in his rookie season. I think he's got great potential. I mean, I love a lot of these guys. I wouldn't be upset to have any of them, but if I had to pick one over the next few years, I'm still going with Derwin James. So, all right, cool. So, Isaac, you want to lead us into our top 10 here to finish off the show?
Well, you guys kind of already know a good majority of mine from this last segment. But, yeah, my way too early top 10 defensive player rankings.
Way too early.
Way too early.
These will change. Yeah, these will definitely change.
These will definitely change, yeah.
We get free agency. We get coaching changes. These will definitely change. But
and I will say I've changed my list about 1 million times already.
Yeah,
so
same here.
Jameson wanted me to guess, like, which one would you rather have over the next person? And that's really difficult with how much talent these guys have.
6 months out.
So I'm gonna go
from the season. So
exactly. I'm going with what list I put up. I'm gonna start from the back. 10. My rank number 10. I have Telvin Smith, linebacker from the Jaguars. He's a guy that reminds me a lot of Levante David. He plays that weak side, and he is just flying. I mean, this man is fast. If you ever watch the Jaguars game, he goes sideline to sideline. He finished 27th in 2017 and finished 13th in 2018. I feel like next year will be his first year where he breaks into the top 10. And like I said, he's been very consistent. You can see like he's improving every year, and he's getting into his prime. So I don't see a drop off here. So yeah, I got Telvin Smith, linebacker for the Jaguars, number 10. Number 9 was a guy I talked about in an earlier episode as far as my guy to watch out for, and that is CJ Mosley, linebacker for the Ravens. He kind of struggled last year, and I talked about that in the last episode, so I'm not going to go too much detail, but he finished 3rd overall in 2017. So it kind of shows you he did have a drop off, but like I said in the last one, he's going into his prime, and he's a tackle machine, man. If you watch any of the playoffs, I mean, C.J. Mosley always flying to the ball. He's not as fast as like a Telvin Smith, Quan Alexander, but he doesn't miss tackle. Number 8, I got Buda Baker for the Cardinals. He finished 18th in 2018, so last year. I'm the one that picked him up in the waiver wire in 2017 before he got big and rocked him and used him and pushed Patrick out the playoffs and won the division because of this
He's
man.
never
I
let you
mean,
forget
he
that.
really
Patrick, he is going to keep bringing that up for
I know.
years.
he really helped propel me, and I feel like you'll see. You know, he like I said, 17. He only started not all the season. And then towards the end, when he pushed me through the playoffs, he was really reliable. And then you can saw when he had a whole season under his belt, he finished 18th. And he's still young, so I feel like he's going to improve even with the coaching staff changes. I feel like, I mean, this man's just talented. And then number 7, I have Derwin James, DB from the Chargers. He finished 7th overall in 2018. And like Jameson said, I mean, he has, as a rookie, just too much talent out there. Him and Darius Leonard were definitely rookie of the year candidates for defensive players. And I was really pissed when Tampa Bay did not draft him. We traded back. Everybody in the mock draft said we were going to get him. And then we got that big old fat ass Vita Vea. Granted, we don't know how he's going to turn out, but yeah, I was real. I mean, he's 340 pounds.
He'd be perfect if you guys. He'd be perfect if you guys switched to a 3-4 though.
I know we are, and that's what they're
Yeah.
saying. We're going to switch to a 3-4, so it'd be perfect. But I mean, Derwin, who would you rather have, a big fat ass or Derwin James? That's what I'm saying. But I mean, to be fair, Vita Vea ran like a 5 flat at 340 pounds, so you got to give him that Samoan heritage he got over there.
What does
Anyway,
that have to do with
6.
fast? Are Hawaiians known for running really quick? Like quickly? Like I don't.
Samoans, dude. Yeah, Samoans.
Get it straight now.
Yeah, with rugby.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean Samoans and rugby and Australian blacks. I mean, yeah, dude, the Samoans, they may be big, but you can't just think they're slow. They're gonna be fast. I know Pat knows what I'm talking about. Right?
I didn't know that was like a. But anyway.
All right. Number 6, I got Jamal Adams. He was ranked 2nd in 2018. I like him. He has talent. I feel like he's going to regress some. He's not going to hold up where he finished last year, honestly. I mean, yes, the Jets' offense is terrible, as much as I hate to say that. But, I mean, they have a new coach who's supposed to know offense. Granted, Dolphins' offense wasn't good under Gase, so I don't assume the Jets' offense is going to be good under Gase. We'll see. But I like I like Sam Darnold more than Ryan Tannehill or whatever hell quarterback is in Miami. So yeah, that's why he was on the field so much this past year, is because it was just defense was on the field all the time because the offense couldn't do anything. So yeah, I feel like he's going to regress. He's going to finish 6th. 5th, I got Landon Collins. He's a pending free agent, depending. Apparently, he's already cleaned out his locker and talked with the Giants, and they're supposed to break up. So we'll see if the Giants are dumb enough to let him walk. He finished 8th in 2017, and then in 2018, he got injured towards the end of the season, unfortunately, for me, because he was on my team. But he averaged 37.2 points a game in 2018, which is damn near the top for DBs. So, I mean, he was doing really good throughout the year. So he definitely would have finished a lot higher in the rankings for 2018 if he would have finished going that rate. Number 4, I have the Vander Esch Leighton for the Cowgirls. He finished 14th in 2018. I mean, this man is a wall. I mean, he's big, he's strong, not the fastest, but you're not going to get past him. And to think about it, he didn't even start the whole season. He was going in and out with Sean Lee, and he still finished 14th, which just shows you how much talent and how much production you get out of somebody when he's only on the field for a certain select time period. So, yeah, I got Leighton Benderis as 4th. 3, I got Keanu Neal, like I've already talked about. He was 2nd 2017. I really think he was going to bounce back. We'll see if it'll be next year or if it'll be the year after that with his injury. But I feel with the way doctors are having surgeries now for ACLs that he'll be able to rebound because basically he's had a good year and a half, 2 years from this injury because he injured it in preseason, I believe. Pat, am I right on that? Because he's on your team. When was he injured?
Oh, honestly, off the top of my head, I can't. I don't even remember.
Did you have him for the first game?
The first game of the season in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if it was week 3 preseason or week 1, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, he had the whole entire year, and now he has the whole entire off season, and now he has the whole spring training camp. He's got a long time to rehab that injury. So I feel like he'll regress some, but I'm really high on him and his potential and how young he is in that Falcons defense. Number 2, I have Deion Jones, linebacker for the Falcons. In 2017, he ranked 8th, and then in 2018, he was injured, so his ranking doesn't show how good he was, but his 40.3 average does, which was unbelievable. Like I said, that Falcons defense, I don't know what it is, or honestly, we're going to try to figure that out later on, but if Deion Jones is another guy that flies around, I mean, I'm sure you guys know as Panther fans, I don't like when he's on the field because he always making tackles behind the line, or I mean, they don't even let the running backs break the edge. I mean, he's right there.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. You don't want to mess with him for sure. And you're right. I mean, he literally can. He almost has that Luke Kuechly factor. It's just he's everywhere.
He's faster. And he's faster too, which is even scarier to think about. He doesn't have Luke Kuechly's coverage ability, though. I don't think anybody does. Because, I mean, that Luke Kuechly's great in coverage. But anyway, and then my last but not least, number 1, no surprise here, Darius Leonard, linebacker for the Colts. Man's a monster. Shout out to South Carolina State alumni.
What?
Darius Leonard, number 1. Yeah. He's gonna regress some, but I still feel he's gonna be number 1. I just don't feel like he's gonna be averaging as high as he did last year.
So Pat, I was just thinking about something. So since we got a lot of the same guys, let's jump to the consensus list. And as we go down, us two and Isaac, we can all just kind of talk about players that we want to talk more about, if you want, and we can quickly name. So if you want to just quickly name your 10, I'll name my 10, and then we'll jump into the consensus list.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll run through my 10 real quick. I won't really say a whole lot about these guys. Real quick, number 10 for me, Tremaine Edmonds, super young linebacker. I love that defense. I actually do like the coaching staff there. Next up, Luke Kuechly. Without Thomas Davis, who else is there to make any tackles in that defense? Enough said there. Sean Williams. Some people may think I'm crazy for putting Sean Williams on this list, and especially ahead of not Keanu Neal. Listen to me. Putting him ahead of help me out here, guys. I'm blanking right now.
Luke Kuechly. He's ahead of Luke Kuechly and Tremaine Edmonds.
Putting him in there, but I really do like his capability on that defense and the fact that you have a team like Pittsburgh who's going to be throwing the ball over the field when they play each other twice a year. As I like to refer to him, Darth Vander Esch, the linebacker out of Dallas. I really like this kid. He's the real deal. I'm sure James is going to talk about him a little bit more in a minute. DJ Swearinger, another guy I like on a defense that I think was already good last year and will be even better this year.
Shout out South Carolina.
And yeah, no bias there. I really do like DJ Swearinger and the way he can rack up tackles for you. Derwin James, another guy, we were talking about him earlier. He's my number 5 guy. Very young, very explosive, can make plays anywhere on the field. This one is going to shock a lot of people. Number 4, I've got Darius Leonard. I don't even have him in my top 3. I'm going to back that up here in a minute. It's because you got Keanu Neal coming back. I am just totally in love with Keanu Neal. Besides the fact that he's a Falcon, I like his speed. I like his hands. I like his vision on the field. I mean, they can close a gap on anywhere in the field and get to the running back. Yes,
he can lay a pop on somebody too.
yes.
They said out of the draft he was going to be the next Cam Chancellor, and 2017 he lived up to that. I mean, he was number 3. So yeah, definitely.
And Darius Leonard, like I said, expect him to regress a little, but he is going to be a tier 1 linebacker. Next up, this one's going to shock a lot of people. It did shock Jameson Isaac when I mentioned to him. I've got Justin Simmons, and I know it has dropped a bomb on here, but listen, Vic Fangio is a defense guru, in my opinion. You look at what the Bears were like. You look at what the Ravens were like before that. All had top-tier defense. Simmons finished ranked 21 between defensive players last year, and he was a rookie. So imagine him getting a better coach out there with him. You look at Eddie Jackson, who's been consistently good, not great, but good the past 2 years with Vic over there as his coach. I'm telling you, I really like what he's going to do to this Bronco defense, and Justin Simmons is going to be the guy in the secondary to rack up tackles, and he's very young. You're going to have a ton of years in him if you have him. And in my number 1 guy is Deion Jones. We were talking about this a second ago, but only one other player averaged more points than Darius Leonard on defense, only one player averaged more than Deion Jones, and that was Darius Leonard. And I'm telling you, Deion Jones is the real deal. If you have him, you got to keep him. If you can't keep him, I feel very sad for you because this man is going to explode this season.
And I just want to point out, Darius Leonard rocked a 47.5 average per game.
Oh,
yeah.
Unreal.
It's just damn near 50 points, which is just – that's what I'm saying.
The only guy who averaged more was Vernon Hargraves, who had played 1 game and had 48 points. That's the only guy.
Yeah. You can't even count that because that's just stupid. Like,
hey, shout out Tampa Bay.
Go for the 1 game, whatever. All right, so I'm going to talk really quickly about guys that aren't in consensus, since we'll do that here in a second. I got number 10, Clayton Gathers. Throwing out the game where he left early, he scored 35 fantasy points, 35 or more, not just 35, in 7 of his 11 games. He's a key part of that revived defense. He should be re-signed or tagged to return next season. He's a very hard hitter who gobbles up tackles. As long as he stays healthy, that's the only concern I have with him. If he stays healthy, he's a top 10.
They said that they potentially might not sign him back, so it'll be interesting to see if they let him walk and go after Landon Collins, is another guy like that.
It would be weird if they let him walk. I mean, he's been the last 2 seasons. Well, when he's been healthy, I mean, he's a great player. But I mean, he'll land somewhere as a starter.
But you'll get to ahead of time. I'll get to it ahead of time. Go ahead.
Number 9, Jordan Poyer. He's finished in the top 10 in DB's the last 2 seasons. No reason to think he's going to fall off now. He's getting a little bit older, but this is a defense that's on the field a lot. He's not someone I love from a talent perspective, just an opportunity perspective. A lot of opportunities. He's a safety that plays in the box, so he gets tackles. In our league, that's very valuable. Quan Alexander, it sounds weird to have him up this high, but throwing away the injured game, and if you pull his stats out to 16 games, he would have finished as the number 6 overall defensive player. That's how many points he was averaging a game. Whether he's in Tampa or somewhere else, I'm comfortable with him as a starter. I think he's going to be able to prove again why he's a top 5 linebacker. We've already got
shout out Tampa Bay,
and that might be a little bit biased. I'm willing to acknowledge that there may be some bias there because I've had him on my fantasy team the last 2 years. So I'm willing to acknowledge there may be some bias, but I still love him. And these other guys, they're in the consensus, so we'll just jump straight to the consensus. We'll start from number 10. Tremaine Edmonds, and Telvin Smith. guys that we couldn't come up with one because of how it worked out. Actually, before we do that, let's do like honorable mentions. So we got Blake Martinez in there. We've got C.J. Mosley in there.
Time out. You didn't finish yours. You stopped at Quan
That's
Alexander.
because the rest of the guys we've talked about, we're gonna talk about them more in the consensus, like as we get to the top of the consensus rank, because they're all in there. I don't want to go through them again.
You can just say their names for people to know where you ranked them, and then you can go.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got Landon Collins at 7. He he averaged 8th most points per game for defensive players, averaging, not total. He only had one game below 25 points last season. Only one game. Not many DBs did that. Luke Kuechly at 6, top 15 linebacker, and didn't even play in week 17. Would have been top 10 if he did. No more Thomas Davis. Lots of opportunity. Great coverage linebacker. Future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Buda Baker. I love DJ Swearinger, Patrick. I love DJ Swearinger, but if I had to pick a Cardinal, I'm going to go with Buda Baker. Already a top 20 player, top DB the last 2 seasons. The Cardinals had 3 DBs finish the top 21 last year, so they're going to get one of the top 10 guaranteed. I think it's going to be him. Of the DBs who didn't miss 3 or more games, Baker averaged more points per game than all but 4 of them. So guys who didn't miss a ton of games, the guy who didn't play one game like Vernon Hargreaves, he averaged a lot more points than most of them. Number 4, Jamal Adams, 9 games of 39 fantasy points or more. Vowed to never miss a Pro Bowl. He's on a team with a ton of opportunity. Hyper talented.
You can vow all day not to miss a Pro Bowl, but that don't mean shit unless you can actually produce.
I mean, he's super confident. He's been talking like that since he was drafted.
Let's be honest, though. The Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. It does not accurately reflect how guys perform.
Well, he was the number 1 guy this year, and he's the number 1 DB in fantasy. So I mean, he had a good year. It wasn't just because he was popular. He was picked to the Pro Bowl. Now this season.
Yeah.
I mean, the number 1 DB. I mean, you can't argue with that in fantasy. High performance past season.
Yeah, Jets' offense was terrible. But go ahead.
Exactly, a lot of opportunity. That's what fantasy's about. Opportunity, not always talent. Leighton Vander Esch, number 3. This is, again, tons of talent, tons of opportunity. Sean Lee's going to be gone. 33.1 fantasy points per game, splitting time. Talent is obvious, and he'll lock down that position next year. Derwin James, number 2. Chargers defense is hyper talented. Derwin James is hyper talented. 35.5 points per game in his rookie season. Jamal Adams is someone who I compare him to. He improved by 20 tackles, interception, and 2 forced fumbles in his sophomore season. I think Derwin James can do the same thing.
Is that a fart?
Number 1. Who was that?
It sounded like a fart. Like a deep, wet fart.
It sounded like a truck driving by, like someone's apartment. And then Darius Leonard, of course. He averaged almost 8 more fantasy points a game than the second place IDP finisher. 8 points a game. So even if he regresses by 7 points, he still would have been the number one defensive player this year. So I couldn't move him out. So quick consensus here. Let me look at this. Tremaine Edmonds and Telvin Smith at number 10. Luke Kuechly at number 9. Buda Baker at number 8. Landon Collins at number 7. Jamal Adams at number 6, Keanu Neal at number 5, Deion Jones at number 4, Leighton Vander Esch at number 3, Derwin James at number 2, and Darius Leonard at number 1. So that's our top.
I must say, I know it hurts to have Keanu Neal right above Jamal Adams on this.
That's just because that's where you guys ranked him.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams is going to finish higher than Keanu Neal this year.
I just wanted to rub that in.
It's okay. It's okay, man. It's we'll see what happens at the end of the year. But right now I've got Jamal Adams finishing higher for sure. Any thoughts on our consensus before we sign off?
No, I'm interested to see how much our rankings change going forward. Obviously, this isn't like a huge comprehensive list here, and there's so much going to change this offseason. I mean, guys are going to get hurt, unfortunately. People get traded, people get signed. I'm interested to see just how much this changes the next couple of weeks to months.
I will say we should, after next season's over, just reflect back on this list just to see how many we got. I mean, if it's all like a Landon Collins or all Darius Leonard, we won't do it. But I feel like it's worth the shot to just see how accurate we are. Because I mean, there's some guys on here that are on others and not on others. So just see if we're right. See how accurate we are.
Yeah, I think the one I'll be paying attention to the most is the one that we do right before the season. We've got the rookies on their teams and everything. But no, I definitely want to look back at it and see
That's what she said.
how good we were.
That's what he said.
Oh my
Damn it.
God!
You got to play it. You got to play. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was for you.
That was the only one on the show. Not a lot of sound drops tonight. We didn't have a lot of opportunity for that, but maybe next week.
A lot of me mumbling. Sorry, guys.
All right, guys. That's it. That's our very player heavy episode. I hope it gives you some ideas as you head into the keepers, the next couple of weeks, and we see free agency and everything heading up soon. The combine and everything, coming toward us. So, anything else, guys? We sign off.
Now, like you said earlier, make sure you get that money in by March 3rd. If not, man, we're gonna be looking for replacements because we have a lot of stuff going on this offseason, and we can't be sitting around waiting on people to get their stuff together. So make sure you get that in. Everyone's had plenty of time to save up $40. That's not that much considering how much we put into this and stuff. All 24 of us. So yeah, just make sure you get that money in.
Yep. If you don't, you're out. No questions. All right, guys. That's it.
Hold 1 second.
Okay.
I just wanted to go ahead and clarify. Jameis Winston rocks an 87.8 quarterback rating to Cam Newton's 86.4.
That's because Jameis Winston doesn't play as much.
Boom. Roasted. Boom roasted.
I'm not playing.
I'm out.
I'm not playing.
How many Super Bowls? How many Super Bowls? Oh, that's right.
Well, that's because Jameis Winston's benched all the time. He doesn't have a chance to ruin his
yeah.
He's never playing.
I just want to rub that in a wound for all you Carolina fans listening, especially these two hosts.
Well, let's talk about interceptions or turnover ratio.
Let's look at
How about we do that after the show?
Let's look at wins. I guess we're just gonna avoid all of that. Turnover ratio, wins.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just ignore all that. All right, guys, we're out. We got stuff to argue about after the show, so we're gonna get off. So, all right, see you next week.
Bye.